What's happening, folks? Back with another reaction, back with some more Aha. And I wanted to give a shout out up front to all the Aha family and all the people who've commented and shared music with me. But recently I wanted to give a shout out in particular to Sophia and also Bantha Burger. In the last couple days I've been going back and forth with them about what the best way forward is, because some people are saying we're really looking forward to getting seeing you get forward to True North and hearing that relatively recently after it was released. Also, there's been some people saying they kind of like it when I go all the way through one of the releases without necessarily jumping around too much while I'm doing that. So again, there's been some different suggestions. I'm just trying to balance everything. I'm trying to take all the feedback and figure out what the best way forward is. But I really did appreciate Sophia and Bantha Burger, as I mentioned, just giving me some comments about what they think, and both of them basically said that, look, however you decide to do it, this is your channel and we're here for it. So I really appreciated that support and also the feedback. So my plan is to kind of pick a middle road as much as possible here. I'm going to continue going through a couple of the albums, including the Unplugged album, but in the next week or two I am going to start doing tracks from True North, and maybe I'll still go back to Unplugged. I'm still going to try to finish some of these journeys that we've been going through, and again, as I keep saying, there's a couple tracks left, I think, from How Can I Sleep With Your Voice in My Head, but the point is I'm going to try to keep going through things in a bit more of an orderly fashion, but also I am going to start True North before too much longer. So within the next week or so I plan on kicking off that, at least in terms of the studio album's final chapter in their story up until this moment. So yeah, I'm very much looking forward to that. And once again, shout out to all the Aha family, not just those who I've been talking to recently about these things, because I know there's a number of you who over time have suggested this would be cool and this would be cool, and also ultimately they do have some official live performances, so maybe before you go through all the bootlegs, at least go through the official ones first. So I appreciate all this, and again, knowing that people have loved this band for much longer than me, it's very nice to have people who really appreciate who Aha is and what they do, sort of steering my way and guiding me with the light of their perception. So enough of all that, let's get to it. This is Analogue, which, as I now understand, is the second version of a tune. It was originally the minor key sonata, and then that tune was reworked, I think, as Mark mentioned, with the help of some additional producers or perhaps writers. I think it was more the production of the track, but yeah, I understand that this is a track like a few other others that have gone through some different iterations, and it's funny, as I went through some of those tunes, there's people saying, oh, I almost prefer this one, the early version. I think this was actually a good example of the minor key sonata. There were a few people who said they actually preferred it to the version that came later and had that more epic kind of chorus, that bigger chorus, I do remember. But yeah, ultimately, I do remember a couple other cases where people were saying, this kind of demo version, this super early version, it feels like unfinished. It feels like it wasn't like fully polished in the way they can do. So it has been interesting to see some different opinions about the tracks as they've evolved and ended up on one or more of their releases. So yeah, ultimately we're going to listen to Analogue. And it's listed here as Analogue All I Want. As I said, this is MTV Unplugged, the Summer Solstice performance from 2017. She's sleeping like... Let's get her up here.
Come back, my darling one, I'm calling on you. The road ahead is long, and I must warn you.
Again, that whatever that harpsichord-ish instrument is, I love it.
Where did she go? If I failed you, I tell you
Deep
right
chords.
now, I want you to know I love you. All I need is that time to show you.
That sounds great.
Come back, my fallen son, don't let them fool you. 'Cause when the
to see both sides of this. The evolution of the tune. I love the atmosphere of the original, but it is a killer chorus in the later articulation.
Lay down your senseless pride, trampled once too often, yeah. I tell you right now, all I want you to know, I love you.
James and I talking about, like, you can maybe take this some different ways, but I was feeling that parent-child relationship, and I remember him saying, like, he kind of took it that way too. Acoustic guitar sounded great, gave it the same edge, but with a slightly different sonic flavor.
Thank you very much. We don't usually have this in the studios.
We're going to bring our next guest out, and this is a girl who's had a lot of success lately. She's a fairly new, young Norwegian artist, very talented girl. With her band Highasakite, she's been phenomenally successful. Please welcome
Some people know
Ingrid Torvik.
I would greatly appreciate if someone would write the spelling of that in the comments so that I can try to internalize that name. But yeah, I guess for the next track we're going to hear her.
You good?
The sun always shines on TV is next. Oh man, I can't wait. And then it starts right there. So yeah, I'm still such a big fan of that tune. It was one of the early tracks that, took my enjoyment of this very fresh at that point deep dive to the next level. So yeah, looking forward to hearing that track in this acoustic format. Looking forward to hearing the guest performer there. And yeah, just an amazing performance of a song that I do enjoy. Again, I enjoy both the early version of it and the one that eventually made it onto the Analogue album, but ultimately, and indeed, which lent its name to that album. But ultimately, I enjoy the performance here as well. I really, the strings in particular, a couple moments where I think there were like cellos and violins in concert, if you will, and the violins in particular, just some of the melodic feeling, the melodic warmth of the way a melody can sound in violin form gets to me, and there was a moment there where it really did. So in any case, let me know what you think. Luke and I will see you next time. Peace.